As you may recall, I recently mentioned in a video that I had recently finished watching the complete series of Darkwing Duck, all 91 episodes. So get ready, because I'm about to talk about it in this Tvlog special. Get ready, and let's get dangerous. Big Days, Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, Tvlog. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D. So this time, for this Tvlog, I'm about to talk about Darkwing Duck, produced by Disney, that originally premiered in syndication in 1991 on the Disney Afternoon, and then just a day or so later on ABC Saturday morning lineup. Now, there were a total of 91 episodes produced and aired. I've watched all of them on Disney Plus, except for one, because one episode was shown only one time, unfortunately. But I'll explain about that later. Now, actually, it's been almost 30 years. It originally premiered in September of 1991. Though originally thought by some fans to be a spin-off of DuckTales, which that happened to have ended the previous year, but I believe was still being rerun at the time. Yes, I believe it was still being rerun at the time. The reason why is because one of its characters, Launchpad McQuack, actually appears in the show, and the hero Gizmo Duck appears in was a recurrent. But anyway, and Scrooge McDuck is mentioned in the episode Tiff of the Titans. But anyway, so what's Darkwing Duck about if you've never seen it? Well, it tells the adventures of the title's character, aided by his sidekick and pilot Launchpad McQuack. Darkwing, who is really Drake Mallard, a parody of Kent Allard, the alter ego of the hero known as the Shadow, lives in an unassuming suburban house with his adopted daughter Goslin, who is, well, let me put it this way, is a real spirited and kind of a spunky little kid, huh? Anyway, their next door neighbors is the bafflingly dim-witted Muddlefoot. Well, Honker, the youngest, who is a friend of Goslin's, isn't, well, bafflingly and dim-witted like his folks are. His dad, Herb, and his wife, Binky, and their other son, Tank, who is a real nuisance. Anyway, Darkwing struggles to balance his egotistical craving for fame and attention against his desire to be a good father to Goslin and help do good for the city of St. Canard. Now, most episodes put these two aspects of Darkwing's character in direct conflict, though Darkwing's better nature usually prevails. Now, the show was the first show on the Disney Afternoon block to emphasize action rather than adventure like it's already done with its other series like DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and TaleSpin. And, of course, The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which was formerly a network television show, which that happened to have been canceled that year. But anyway, with Darkwing routinely engaging in slapstick battles with both supervillains and street criminals, it's just a fun blast. Anyway, while conflict with villains was routine in earlier Disney Afternoon shows, actual fight scenes were relatively rare. It was also the first Disney Afternoon property that was produced completely as a genre parody. Prior shows would contain elements of parody in certain episodes, but would otherwise be straight-faced adventure concepts. Anyway, by contrast, every episode of Darkwing Duck is laden with references to superhero, pulp adventure, or super spy fiction. Now, Darkwing is a satirical character. His costume His weapon, known as the gas gun, and flashy introductions are all reminiscent of pulp heroes and Golden Age superheroes like the Shadow, for instance, the Sandman, Doc Savage, Batman, the Green Hornet, and the Julius Schwartz Flash, as well as the Lone Ranger and Zorro. Now, the fictional series San Canard is a direct parody of Gotham City. Of course, we all know Canard is French for duck. But anyway, each week, Darkwing goes out on some fun-filled adventures and takes on all sorts of baddies and what have you. Now, as a kid, I was addicted to the show. I loved it. I loved watching it. It was just one of my absolute favorites. And I love the theme song. I love Darkwing's catchphrase, "Let's get dangerous." Yeah, or else that's just in the theme. But he said, "Let's get dangerous." But he'll say something else, though. Now, actually, Gosling, on the other hand, she has her own catchphrase as well, which is King Gear. Oh, believe me, you got to admit that's a good catchphrase. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's see. Now, Darkwing is voiced by Jim Cummings, who I'm pretty sure that name sounds familiar, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, he's the guy who currently voices who was still currently at the time voicing a certain Winnie the Pooh for Disney, and also as well as his bouncy friend Tigger, and plus a lot of other characters. Let's see. Yeah. And of course, he would later go on to do some voice acting in, various other movies and TV shows. There's lots of them from the looks of it, yes. Oh, like I said, there's too many to mention. Sorry, everyone. But I knew the name sounded familiar. Okay, enough said. Let's see. Let me sneak back. Okay, and Launchpad is voiced by Terry McGovern, who, of course, is the same guy who voiced him in the DuckTales series. Gosling is voiced by, if I'm not mistaken, by the late Christine Cavanaugh, who was best known for, who was originally the voice of Chucky Finster in Nickelodeon's Rugrats, and would later do the voice of Oblina in Nickelodeon's Real Monsters, and the title character of Cartoon Network's breakout hit series Dexter's Laboratory. Of course, she voiced the title character, and she also did the voice of the pig Babe in the movie you probably know. Let's see. Yeah. Apparently, Gosling, I better point out, she also wants to be a superhero too, with characters such as the Crimson Quackette and Quivering Quack. Oh boy, this is absolutely funny. Yeah, she's an unstoppable bundle of energy and spunk. You'll know why when you watch the show if you haven't. Yeah. Now aside from Gizmo Duck, aka Fenton Crackshell, well, Darkwing doesn't quite get along with him too much. But he's got a few other allies. There's a dim-witted humanoid stegosaurus named Stegmut, and the mutated humanoid fish character Neptunia, voiced by Susan Silo, who I know best for voicing Sue the Ghost Monster in the original Pac-Man cartoon. But the only one I really like of a recurring ally to Darkwing is Morgana Macabre, voiced by Kat Susie, another Rugrats voiceover. Of course, she voiced Phil and Lil on the show, plus she did lots of other characters. She's a sorceress who was originally a villain, but later reforms and becomes, well, DW's girlfriend. Yeah, we call Darkwing DW for short. Launchpad LP. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, she's a pretty good character. Now, of course, we have villains and what have you. The Fearsome Five is one of them. Now, the most popular one of the most popular ones, is probably a favorite of everyone, Negaduck, also voiced by Jim Cummings. He's an evil doppelganger, and he's the actual central antagonist of the series. Now, Negaduck was originally in. If you've seen the one of the episodes of the ABC run, he was actually created from negative energy when a Tron splitter was used on Darkwing to create, well, to put out a good and bad version. But once something else happens to the evil Darkwing, he becomes Negaduck. But we only see that one time, though. But then we see him in a different color costume. Anyway, yeah, he's pretty mean and all that jazz. And then there's Bushroot, scientist who originally worked at the St. Canard University, where he tried to integrate plant chloroplasts into animals in an attempt to give people the ability to feed themselves through photosynthesis. Yeah. Then, however, one of his experiments, which was a success, backfired and caused him to turn to a half-duck, half-shrub mutant. Yeah. And let's see, the Liquidator, a mutant water dog creature. Yeah. Whose real name is Bud Flood. Yeah, as Darkwing catches him in the act of pouring a corrosive chemical into a competitor's reservoir, he panics and falls in, and thus he is reborn as the Liquidator. Another pretty good character. And then there's Quackerjack, another popular foe, and he's voiced by Michael Bell, who recently lent his voices to several superhero cartoons like The Super Friends, where he voiced Zan, the half of the Spacey Wonder Twins, as well as Lex Luthor in the short-lived Ruby Spears Superman cartoon. He also lent his voice to G.I. Joe and several others. Anyway, he's a toy maker when insane after video games put him out of business. And he wears a Harlequin style jester costume that he has never seen without. And he has some types of characters with him, most notably Mr. Banana Brain. But my favorite villain of them all is gotta be Megavolt, aka real name Elmo Sputterspark, and he's an insane rat with the ability to control electricity. And he was a classmate of DW's in high school, where he gained his powers after bullies sabotaged his science experiment. And he's voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who of course was already at the time voicing a certain Homer Simpson. Oh! Yeah. But Megavolt's probably my favorite villain of them all. And he does that character's voice in the style the same way he does Krusty the Clown. Go on, Darkwing, make my day. Yeah. That's what he says in the Negaduck episode. Excuse me. Yeah. Because he had the Tron splitter. Another group is the F.O.W.L organization, the Fiendish organization of world larceny. Well, their big member is Steelbeak, voiced by Rob Paulson, who was currently voicing Raphael in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series at the time. He'd also go on to voice characters on Animaniacs and lots of other tunes. Who is the chief agent of F.O.W.L. And Ammonia Pine, former cleaning lady who really decides to clean up stuff or whatever because she fears dirt. Oh, there's lots of others. Yep. And let's see. Now, DW gets word on where F.O.W.L's up to no good through another organization. Let's see. Trying to find it. Sorry, everyone, I may not be able to find it. But I know it's Oh, my bad. I didn't. Well, it's S.H.U.S.H. Which is a parody of Marvel Comics Shield, and it's the head director is J. Gander Hooter. Now he's pretty big on giving Darkwing some missions and whatnot, although he has competition from S.H.U.S.H's top agent Vladimir Grizzlykov. And then there's also the greatest agent S.H.U.S.H. Um, Derek Blunt, who appears in an episode, yeah. Oh yeah, and Dr. Sarah Bellum, yeah. Yeah, you heard me correctly. But anyway, yeah, Darkwing Duck, I'm gonna say, is an absolute fun experience. It's one of my absolute favorite 90s tunes of all time, alongside other shows that aired, maybe not just on Saturday mornings, but in syndication, like Batman the Animated Series and Tiny Toon Adventures, Animaniacs. But it's one of my faves. Now, of course, this would be Disney's second tune to come out in the 90s. Of course, Tailspin was the first one. But as Darkwing Duck became successful, it became big in comic books, and he had books and what have you. And of course, he had a popular video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System from Capcom, which that's like the only Disney Capcom game I have never ever played. I'd give anything to have it, but the price is too big, and I'd love to tackle it. The game's also on Game Boy, and of course, there's also an infamous TurboGrafx 16 game. I've seen a walkthrough of it. This game sucked. The game sucked. Sorry, I don't want to try and use language because I'm a part of a Disney group, okay? On Facebook, okay, enough said. But anyway, I'd give anything to have the NES Darkwing game. Now, even though it is on the Disney Afternoon collection that came out on the PlayStation 4 and other systems a few years ago, well, it's worth a shot trying to find that. But yeah, Darkwing Duck is exceptionally a great character, and he's one of my favorite 90s tunes of all time, that is. Even though I didn't count it as a Saturday morning show in the recent ranking of Saturday morning tunes of the 90s I did a few months ago, yeah. But I'd still say give Darkwing Duck a shot. You won't be disappointed. The whole series is on Disney except for one episode. It was an episode from the second season that ABC aired called Hot Spells. Now, actually, 65 episodes were produced and aired on the Disney Afternoon block for the first season. At the same time, ABC got to air it for 13 episodes in the first season and then another 13 in the second season. Hot Spells was one of the episodes, but unfortunately it only aired one time, and apparently it kind of caused a bit of controversy in ways, and was dropped and was never seen again. As much as I hate to say it. Yeah. Even so, I still think Darkwing Duck is a definite worth watch. You should check it out. And, well, some cartoon streaming sites has Hot Spell, so try and look it up, okay? But anyway, that's all I can tell you. So, what do you think? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. It's vehicles. There's a Thunderquack, which is like a jet plane thingy, and the Rat Catcher, which is the motorcycle. Now, and Darkwing's headquarters is on, top of the big bridge in St. Canard. I almost forgot to bring that up before I finish. But yeah, there. Now you know about Darkwing Duck. Enough said. So, what do you think? What did you think of Darkwing Duck? Did you grow up watching this show? I'd love to hear what you think of it. And who's your favorite villain of the show? Please feel free to tell me in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Thanks for watching. Now, if you like this video, check out these other superhero vids. In the upper left-hand corner is my Saturday morning TV log of the original Super Friends from 1973, which I did earlier this month. The upper right-hand corner is my Saturday morning TV log of the original Spider-Man from 1967 that I did last Saturday. And as a bonus, the bottom left-hand corner is my previous TV log from a week ago on the original Thundercats, which celebrated its 35th anniversary. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, video games, music, etc., then I'm your guy. Tell your friends about me and check me out. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya!